Hey guys, it's Woody. I'm home tonight, and I've got a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another product review. I'm going to start trying to make these things a regular deal. So what I've done is I've gotten a couple of models from a company called Keyport. Now what I have here, this one is the pivot for obvious reasons. Keys and things pivot in and out of there. I also have their Keyport Slide 3.0. This one is the autism awareness plate, and these are pretty cool because the keys just slide in and out with these little push buttons here. Makes it really handy. To show you another plate that they have, this is my wife's set. You've got the sugar skulls. It's pretty cool. Also, for my wife's, she has these crystal buttons instead of the regular painted on buttons. So that's an option that she has. An option that I have is there's a little LED light, and it's pretty bright. It's only 12 lumens, but it's one LED. It is battery powered. You know, batteries slide out here. And they're like the watch batteries, so those typically last a long time. The watch batteries do anyway. And replacing these shouldn't be too hard as far as actually, you know, finding replacement for them. They do, this little cover here slips off, and I believe there's 2 batteries inside. You just replace those. So let's get into the actual product here. Keyport has actually, they've been around for a while, and you know, they have some other competitors out there, and I've looked at the competitors. I have been interested in them, but I had some kind of issues that, you know, questions, I guess, that I had about them. So for example, like the Keyport pivot here. Now this is pretty slim and really light, and some of the other competitors are pretty bulky. So and with this particular model, I was carrying it for a few days, and Amy, who actually works at Keyport, you know, asked me how I was liking it, and I said, you know, I liked it pretty well, and I actually told her I was worried about the keys, you know, kind of rotating out of there as I'm carrying them throughout the day. I never had that problem with this, and as loose as these are, I mean, they're not super loose, but it's not hard for me to, you know, actuate those keys. It's just not hard, but they don't move when I mean, they're hanging off my pants, and they just don't come out of there. I don't know how don't know how it works, but you know, really cool for that to happen. They also have, you know, if you've got more keys or less keys, there's these spacers here. You just add them, take them out. If you have actually more than 4 keys, they actually have an extender or an extension bar, and you just add that and add spacers as needed. Pretty simple and really cool. They all come with these little S carabiners. These things are just really cool. Another cool feature about all the Keyports is they have a My Keyport ID. I suggest if you get a Keyport, you register it, because if you end up losing them, whoever finds them, they do give a reward if a Keyport is found and returned. They give a reward to the person who finds it. And Amy was telling me that they have a whole box of Keyport sets that were not registered because somebody found the lost set, and because they weren't registered, they didn't know where to send it to. So all of mine are registered. So if I do end up losing them, which for me, so far I have never lost a key, I have never lost a wallet, I've never lost an ID, any of those things, because I always have them on me. But not everybody is like me. So, and hey, you never know, I might end up losing a key, or a Keyport or something. Belt loops fail too. But anyway, like I said, the model I have, both of these anyway, the slides, are the 4-key Keyports. Really nice, really well machined. I went in to have these made, and they weren't real sure about a couple of them. Like this one here, this is my truck key for my truck, and this one here is for my gun safe at home. So they weren't real sure about it. They did some looking around, they found it, they found the actual exact keys. Now if they couldn't have found this one, they were actually going to modify the actual key, the original key, to make it fit in here. So that is an option. They don't entirely recommend it. But I had a copy at home, so I was like, if you mess it up, it's really not going to bother me that much. But they didn't have to. So super cool. And like I said, this is my wife's set. Really cool that they have these different graphics. They do have different graphics. They have these, like I said, the autism awareness, which I'm a big supporter of. They also have an option where on this other plate, like say you have a library card, or like a CVS card, a loyalty card, something like that, that has a barcode on it, and you scan it, well, they can put that barcode onto here. So if you want to carry less of those cards on your keychain, you have this. So say you frequently shop, typically you're grocery shopping, right? And then you just scan that instead of having to carry a card around or whatever. So that's cool in itself. Now as far as like this flashlight, they have other attachments. This is a fully modular system, this one and the pivot. As you see these little holes here, that's for the modules. These things, these plates, they all clip on and off. So there's this. They have currently a pocket knife and also a combination with the flashlight and a locator. That there's an app on your phone that you download, and it will locate these if you lose them. It'll send out a signal. And on the other side of that, if you have these but you lose your phone, you push the button and your phone will ring. So that's kind of cool also. And one other thing that they have right now is a chip module. So say you have a key that is more or less shaped like this, and a lot of them have the chips in here. So say that was the case for that key, then I would use my key, but the chip would be in here, so I would still be able to use that. Now I cannot do that with my wife's car because she has one of these fobs, and it's completely different. There's a chip, there's a computer chip, everything's in this. So still can't do that, but everything has been reduced to this now. And with it being 4 keys still, it's extremely light. I mean, I forget, I actually have to check and make sure that I have it hanging off my belt loop because it's so light. I believe it's made out of aluminum, but it's pretty light. They also currently have other colors. I opted for this color because I am kind of OCD, or maybe just fickle with the appearance of things, and with this being worn outside of my pockets, they get scratched up a lot. So this color won't scratch like that. It won't fade. These are clear coated, but they do have other colors. They've got black, like a dark red, which looks really nice. I almost got that one, but again, she did show me that box of other keyports that came in that had been used, and the ones that were colored like that red one, for example, it looked pretty ragged after a while. Still worked, still was great, but the color was just coming off of it, and I don't like that. So I usually, on just about everything, either go like sandblasted or black. So that's just me personally. Now, I really wish I would have written this down before I made this video, but Keyport is doing a Kickstarter program right now as we speak. So what they're going to end up doing is they got a new line of these modular pieces coming out. A completely new line. She showed me the video. She actually showed me some of the prototypes in the shop when I went in there. Upgraded light. So like I said, this one's got 12 lumens for this one. The new one's going to have 27 lumens. And on top of that, it's going to have lights on the sides, each side, so it will light up even more, and you can choose which light you want to use. Also, a new upgraded knife. Again, I got to see this thing in person and compare them, and the new one that they're coming out with is much better, much thicker, sturdier, looks better, and also it's kind of a commemorative piece to one of the employees that passed away there, and works there. So that's also really cool. And they're also going to have another modular deal. I'm not exactly sure what that is at this moment, but I do know they have another one. Something that I left out. So some of the things that you can add to these slides here, like I'll show you my wife's, for example. So you can have a pin. There's a pin that fits in here. And I will say they have worked with another company that I'm really fond of, that I've mentioned in other videos, trying to get some of their systems to fit in here, and right now they cannot get it to work because of the size, but these guys are pretty innovative. I'm sure they will come up with something. So, pin, they also have a multi-tool that you can add to either one of these, the pivot or the slide. They have multi-tools. I mean, they've just got a whole slew of really cool things that you can add in these. And you know, like I said, even this thing being as loose as it feels, it doesn't come out. I mean, if I shake it, that's obviously okay, maybe not. Okay, so I took that to get it to move. But I mean, they're pretty solid, because this is how I like to do realistic, you know, stuff. So just say this is hanging off of my carabiner, okay, and I'm walking around with it. You know, it pretty much, it stays pretty dang good. So that's cool. This is the Keyport Pivot and the Keyport Slide 3.0. And I'll put these both up so you can kind of get an idea of what we have here. I mean, this is really cool. And again, the custom crystals here, which I thought was really cool, because we've got my birthstone and my wife's birthstone. And it just kind of worked out that way, because we picked, you know, which colors we wanted each key, and it just turned out that those two were on the back side. So really cool. Good construction on these things. So anyway, one other thing I do want to add that Amy explained to me was, if you have car keys on the pivot, they don't recommend using car keys on the pivot because of the way that these go into the ignition. And if you have, you know, your either your fob or say just other keychains, you've got weight down here, they have issues with the ignition disengaging. Now, it does not happen all the time to every car, but they do say it happens enough to recommend not doing it. So for that, the slide works great, because it goes right into the ignition and all the weight is where it's supposed to be. So say it was like with this key fob, you know, it's same thing, same concept. It's all right here. So yeah, definitely check out Keyport. They are based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And I will try to put a link down in the description. I'm still kind of learning how to do that, but I'll work on it. Also, with the Kickstarter program, I know I can go back and edit videos. Once I figure out what the website is for that Kickstarter project, I will add that into the description. So that's all I've got for now. I hope it turned out good. I really just kind of winged it. I was planning on just writing everything down and being all professional about it, but anybody who knows me knows I'm not like that. I just wing it. So anyway, that is what I have for you right now. Reach for the sky, thank a trucker, and God bless.